Today on OC News, we have coverage on the ceasefire protest that happened at the San Francisco airport,
Disneyland gets approved by local officials to expand,
and different student opinions on the effects of daylight savings.
OC News starts now.
This just in tech news. The first responder on the
There's been a lot of collaborative efforts.
I feel blessed to be here in Fullerton.
Brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
OC News starts right now.
Welcome to OC News. I'm Ashley Grimaldo.
And I'm Amy Ariano. Thank you for tuning in.
Thursday at 8 p.m. is the last chance for students to vote for their ASI elected leaders. Our reporter Cynthia Saavedra has more on the story.
Today is the last day for students to vote for their ASI spring candidate. Students have been coming all morning to make sure their voices are heard.
I definitely feel like there should be more multicultural events, and if there are already, as mentioned previously, not many students are aware of the things that occur on campus.
Mostly, I just want them to take charge of the ASI. There's a lot of resources around campus, and I want them to be very welcoming to, especially the new students. I want them to be able to see all the resources and have that friendly face when they walk in the door.
Students shared on what they would want their ASI representative to do for them this upcoming school year, as well the changes that they want to be made on campus.
As a commuter, I really want to see the new president really foster a sense of community on the campus. It's very split between commuters and those who live on campus, so foster kind of a greater sense of community here and emphasize that everyone has a place here.
Voting will end at 8 p.m. today, so don't forget to scan your QR code. And when you do that, you can receive a free tuffy and a cute little bracelet. For OC News, I'm Cynthia Saavedra.
Ceasefire protests shut down a terminal at the San Francisco International Airport for nearly 3 hours this morning. This morning, at the International Terminal at SFO, a protest against the war in Gaza erupted, blocking access to inside and outside the terminal. In a press statement, the protest organizers said they plan to shut down various areas of the airport and demand a permanent ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, as well as an end to the U.S. Army's supply to Israel. As of now, the protest has dispersed to outside and terminals have been reopened, but officials asked people to allow for extra time when traveling.
Today, the U.S. House of Representatives voted to pass a bill that may lead to the ban of TikTok. Here's Jeffrey Morris with more.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at Cal State Fullerton, where we have asked students how they feel about the upcoming TikTok ban. The House of Representatives has passed a bill by a wide margin banning or restricting TikTok from over 170 million Americans.
I would say I'm against it because I think I learned a lot from TikTok, even if it's just something small. It's a good news source. Obviously, not everything is believable, but I think there's a lot of, sometimes you find a lot of people that support you on there as well, or different communities, and a lot of opportunities on there as well.
Students on campus have had mixed opinions on this. One's feeling they don't know enough information and can't decide. One's thinking that's censorship and that shouldn't be allowed. Others believe TikTok is harmful and that the ban should be in place.
I think TikTok is doing more harm than it is doing good. Is it nice to see fun, wacky people just doing funny things to entertain yourself? Sure. But for the most part, this next generation, they're really only getting their information from TikTok. And it could be true sometimes, it could be bad sometimes, but it's not really a reliable source. But the next incoming generation thinks it is a reliable source. So they'll believe more anything they see on TikTok, whether it's good or bad.
TikTok will not stop working immediately in the U.S. if President Joe Biden signs the bill. The company will have 180 days to diverse their interests or sell points with TikTok. That's it from me, Jeffrey Morris. Back to you guys in the studio.
I don't know what I would do without TikTok. That's my daily entertainment.
I don't know either. I'm always on TikTok too. Coming up after the break, a Boeing whistleblower found dead.
Disneyland's park expanding.
And our reporter Robbie Loya with our sports segment. Stay tuned for that and more.
talking about.
While in the midst of a deposition retaliation case against Boeing, a whistleblower has been found dead. Over the weekend, former Boeing employee John Barnett was found dead in Charleston, South Carolina, from what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Barnett was known to have raised safety concerns about the company's production practices. The South Carolina City's Police Department are still investigating the case, awaiting the formal cause of death, along with any additional findings that might shed further light on the circumstances surrounding the death of Mr. Barnett. Barnett's lawyer spoke out to CNN and said that, quote, John was in the midst of a deposition in his whistleblower retaliation case, which finally was nearing the end. He was in very good spirits and really looking forward to putting this phase of his life behind him. And moving on, we didn't see any indication he would take his own life, end quote.
Disneyland has major expansion on its California theme park planned for the near future. They recently cleared one of their final hurdles to get the project going. On Monday, the Disneyland Forward project was approved on a 5-1 vote by the Anaheim Planning Commission. It had been under reviews and analysis for almost 3 years. The project would jumpstart a $1.9 billion development on their 490-acre footprint, allowing for new rides and entertainment opportunities over the next decade. Disney's goal is to create more immersive experiences for tourists similar to the attraction Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Home runs and three-pointers were on the agenda for CSUF sports. Let's hear about that and more from our sports anchor, Robbie Loya.
Thanks, guys, and happy Wednesday evening, everyone. There is so much going on with Cal State Fullerton athletics, with basketball season coming to a close and softball and baseball nearing conference play. There is so much to look forward to. So with that being said, let's get the ball rolling. Starting off with Cal State Fullerton softball and beautiful Anderson Family Field, the one and only Haley Rainey. When it rains, it pours, with an ERA of 2.17 so far this season, finishing that day against Yale with 7 strikeouts using her powerful pitch, of course, the curveball. Switching over now forward, going to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Big West Conference stolen base record holder Cheese Delgadillo lines that one to right center field. Perfect right off the wall. Steals in there perfectly for one of the very few hits for Cal State Fullerton against the Yale Bulldogs. You move on a little bit further. Bailey Wallace, she gets ready to go. She pulls back for a bunt. The speed of Cheese Delgadillo. Ball goes past third right to left field, and Megan Delgadillo comes around to score as the Titans, they only score 1 run in that game. But all thanks to the one and only Haley Rainey shutting down the door. Already has a perfect game, and now another shutout written to her name this season for Cal State Fullerton. They win that one by a final of 1-0. Switching to the neighborhood of Goodwin Field, all thanks to Cam Burdick. Starting off strong for Cal State Fullerton with the early 1-0 lead, walking in a run. Next up, of course, Max Latta putting a whole lot of this one into left field, goes off the face of the wall. And here comes, of course, running around the corner, Superman himself, Moises Guzman, saves the day with a Superman jump. Getting in there with a slide, Cal State Fullerton lead early in the bottom of the first, 4-0. Fast forwarding a little bit, the one and only Colby Wallace hits that one right to left field. Coming around to score will be another tie-in, as Cal State Fullerton are definitely going dolphin hunting in this game against Jacksonville. A little bit down the line, of course, you know who it is. Again, Moises Guzman back in action, lays down a bunt right to the second baseman as Cal State Fullerton sweep Jacksonville, winning this one by a final of 13-2. With men and women's basketball nearing the tail end of the season, both programs are in the hunt for a chance to go dancing in March. Now switching things over, basketball again for this team. You take a look here, the one and only, the 3-star recruit for Cal State Fullerton, Kendrick DeLuna, trying to get the ball rolling for Cal State Fullerton in a do-or-die situation. Cal State Fullerton wins this game. They're going to go ahead and go to the Big West Conference. The triple there, ripping the rope. DJ Bruton, another fadeaway J. Nylon there on the left-hand quarter. Cal State Fullerton down by 11. The very own TSA puts one from the charity stripe, as here is Bruton trying to save the day once more. Unfortunately, Cal State Fullerton coming up short by a final of 81-71. Jumping over to women's basketball, they made the Big West Conference Championship tournament. It started today against the number 5 ranked team, UC Davis. Here is the one and only Fajika Nemo. Goes right under the dish, as again, Nemo from downrange. You already know, nothing but net into this one. Or into this one a little there. You see Briella Minor kind of showing off her muscles a little bit with the counted in one. Get the energy that Cal State Fullerton need, and when in doubt, you need someone to save the day. You have Nemo right there for you. Cal State Fullerton trying to earn their respect here. They lose that one by a final of 86-56. So that unfortunate tournament event for women's basketball, as now both for men's and women's, their seasons are officially over for both programs. The attention will now solely be on Cal State Fullerton softball and baseball. So with that being said, that's going to do it for me in the studio. Back to you two at the desk.
Thank you, Robbie. I always love hearing you talk about sports. After the break, we'll hear how students are dealing with the daylight savings time change.
We'll also find out what to expect from our weather over the rest of the week.
And who doesn't love a story about some canine pups? We'll be right back.
You'll be the first, Mija.
I got in. Dad, I got in!
You should know this one. Who knows it?
So how's it going in school?
Finish those before you go.
Management function that seeks to develop mutually beneficial relationships with all of our audience.
Hey, do you know what this word means? Empowerment? Authority or power given to someone to do something. E-M-P-O-W-E-R-M-E-N-T. T. Empowerment.
Welcome back. Springing forward once a year can be very jarring to our sleep pattern. I recently asked some students about how our recent switch to daylight savings is affecting them. Many of clocks sprang forward on Sunday, March 10th at 2 a.m., giving us more daylight. Many believe that this change disrupts sleep and regular schedules. Researchers have noted negative effects that occurred during this transition. In addition to sleep loss, people are at greater risk of mood disturbance, suicide, and being involved in traffic accidents during these periods. This hour may seem harmless, but it does not adjust to our bodies well.
With the sun out setting at 7 p.m. and daylight savings taking an hour away from us, let's see how it affected our student schedules.
I will say that my energy has changed a lot. I noticed that I've been able to get more energy throughout the day rather than what it used to be when the sun would go down a lot faster. But I'm honestly appreciating the sun and like how much time we actually have with it.
I don't really like it because you lose an hour of sleep, but then again, the sun's out for a longer time, so you get to seize the day.
As many students feel affected by these schedules and people tend to adapt to time changes, some studies suggest that the human body never really adjusts to daylight savings time. Here's some tips to help adjust to this time change. Gradually alter your bedtime. Establish a consistent sleep routine. Take naps in moderation. And spend some time outdoors enjoying the late sunsets. I'm Amy Ariano, OC News.
It looks like warmer days are on the horizon. Let's send it over to our weather anchor, Kimmy Garcia.
Welcome, Cal State Fullerton students, where we keep our campus community prepared for whatever elements throw our way. So whether you're reaching for a hoodie or glasses, let's navigate the forecast together. Today's current temperature is a high of 67 and a low of 54, with a wind speed of 6 miles per hour. The wind is making it feel a little cooler outside with 51% humidity. Let's dive into this week's weather forecast. Wrapping it up this week, we are going to end with a high of the upper 60s and the low of the lower 50s. Moving forward through the weekend, expect beautiful, clear, sunny skies. Make sure to grab your sunglasses as the weekend and next week starts to warm up. In other news, plenty of people are hitting the slopes in Northern California by Lake Tahoe. This comes days after a major blizzard hit in some areas around the lake, got up to 10 feet of snow. Skiers had to hit the slopes right away, and wind blew most of the good powder away. That's all for this week's weather forecast. Enjoy the clear, sunny skies. And this weekend, I'm Kimmy Garcia. Let's send it over to Ashley at the desk.
Thank you, Kimmy. Sounds like we're going to get lucky with some nice weather for St. Patrick's weekend. Now, on to celebrating these good boys and girls for being the unsung heroes of our military. March 13th is National Canine U.S. Army Veterans Day, in celebration of the dedicated canine units who've served since World War II. The U.S. Army has trained and deployed these canines to numerous missions with unique roles, from scout dogs to sentries, messengers, and even detecting explosives. Some of the things you can do to celebrate would be to consider donating to your local canine units, educate others about the holiday, or even adopt a retired service dog. Let's give a round of applause for those unsung heroes for their service.
Are you looking to adopt, Ashley?
I have 2 dogs already, but maybe I'll look into it.
That's all we have today from OC News. I'm Amy Ariano.
And I'm Ashley Grimaldo. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube and on social media at Titan TV.